Yeah, to deliver the message and to remain awake. Right. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to be here. And our good ambassador, Badr, introduced the concept and introduced the speakers. I'd just like to give you a little background of why we did this initiative. And of course, I'm happy to see many friends in the audience, including Svetlana from the World Bank Group, a place that I worked in for 10 years, and perhaps in a good day we can convince the top people in the group, in addition to the regional representatives, to get more engaged with us at the local levels, which is basically the aim of this project. When you talk climate, it's normally in these kind of COPs. They are hosted in big cities with tens of thousands of participants. We normally talk about Paris Agreement engagements at 40,000 feet level when we discuss matters related to gaps and how to bridge them. Then the counterparts to that are basically ministers and, as you have seen, heads of state at the national level. But there are two important levels for action. In many cases, they are missing, but thanks to good development of ideas, especially during Sharm el-Sheikh, we managed to do a few things. One is to link climate action to sustainable development, and with the impact on fighting poverty, creating jobs, and every action we claim it's in climate has something to do with the SDGs. From energy, SDG 7, to water management, if it is adaptation, SDG 6, creating jobs and growth with a new look into industrialization, SDG 8, and if we are successful, we will deal with poverty and inequality. So this kind of separation and divorce between climate action and SDGs was resolved in Egypt. Financing them needs really to be tailored in the same way, adhering to the rules of engagement that public finance alone will not really do it. Private sector, not just about funding, it's about energy, it's about innovation, taking risk, much more agile than governments, even if they have money. But imagine if in the case, which is normally the case now in developing economies, that you are under fiscal constraints. So you need really to rely not just on private sector finance, but private sector agility and competitiveness to push for the change. So I just came from a meeting at the regional level with the Africans on industrialization, on industrial policy, and with pipeline of bankable and investable projects. And here there is the challenge that we faced, and we succeeded in it. If anyone said that there is no bankable or investable projects, we have two answers. At the global level, thanks to cooperation with the UN system, with BCG, with SLK, with many top financiers and investment banks, with the regional economic commissions, we have 420 answers and confirmation. With all due respect for those who say we don't have bankable investable projects, 408 answers, they say you are wrong. You have the projects and we have the finance, but there are issues related to the matchmaking, capacity development, technical assistance, bringing the money to the last minute kind of arrangements, and to the last mile, which is basically what we are trying to do. And there is a report on the regional level called Assets to Flows. I didn't stop at that. I said, well, let's do a deep dive in one of the countries, the host country of COP27. And here came this idea that was approved. I think this one was one of the fastest approval in terms of an idea transformed into a platform by the Egyptian Cabinet of Ministers, led by Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, the Prime Minister. And for the full ownership, we sought the sponsorship of the head of state, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and that again was the fastest approval to bring his support to this idea. Why? Because we are mobilizing everybody in the country. From line ministries, as going to be shown and reflected, not just Ministry of Planning, we have Ministry of Environment, because we're talking about green, we have Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, smart, Ministries of Trade and Industry, partnership with the Federation of Industry, engagement with the Chambers of Commerce. We had as well other ministries involved, including youth, international cooperation, and many other players. at the national level, local level. We had all of the governors, 27, and then we're very much mindful to categories, from big mega projects to mid-size, to small, to micro enterprises with startups, women-led projects, and community development projects. So you have a matrix of action that is basically covering line ministries. This is the matrix of any country. Line ministries with governorates reaching local level. I'm coming from a village like Mr. Suwaidi. We had always the bias on the eventual impact. We are always challenged, and when we are seen in these national platforms, him and I and others, and global, what's in it for us? Why we are doing what we are doing. So I'm happy as well, as we had 420 answers for pipeline. We have 12,000 answers of projects, and the rule of the game is that we are getting 6 projects by 27, and we have, in addition to that, 27 projects representatives from the different governors. That created dynamics. I know Ambassador Badr and Minister Hala Saeed have been bombarded by questions, by telephone calls from governors of the 27 governors of Egypt, why my project is not at the top, why we're not selected. This kind of dynamism of competition and jealousy for the winners based on a criteria and standard that is available for all is basically the idea there, that we need not just to rely on 4 or 5 governorates of Egypt doing the work for the rest of the country, but we know that we have 27 engines of competition and transformation, and each one of them has a great story that is supported by the different entrepreneurs and individuals, not just the big ones, but we have smaller ones with ideas to scale up, not just at the national level, but we had as well the opportunities to get all of these transformations done beyond the state, and many of these enterprises already had their engagements with some sort of outward orientation. I'm very happy that in this discussion today we had the UNIDO with their technical assistance. We had the convening power of the Arab League, and they are part of with us on the regional platforms, good support and technical assistance from UNDP. But in the presence of Mr. Suwaidi, we have this great discovery that we had during the regional platforms work, which was basically this big network of very specialized institutions linking finance to the real economy. And these people in DZ Bank as a group that will be explained had no problem of having this issue that finance is going on its own way, but the real economy is lagging behind. Because here as a cooperative, from day one, they are about impact, interaction, and mobilizing finance where it matters. I wrote a lot about cooperatives, especially the modern ones. Some of the best examples happen in 2 countries, but perhaps others could be jealous from other countries. But what I'm aware of is Germany and Canada. There are many other attempts elsewhere, including in Europe. But this is a line of thought, with all due respect, of course, to our federation of the cooperatives in Egypt, but this is the way to go with the cooperatives. Not ideological, not socialist, not capitalist. It's basically by the people, for the people, in terms of finance, providing technical assistance and making the transformation. This is the way that we need, our cooperatives need to do. In a good day, I hope, and I'm not pushing anyone, either the governor of Central Bank of Egypt or DZ, but that will be transformational if we manage to have DZ group established in our continent, in Africa, and the best thing if we can have it starting in the oldest civilization in the world, not just in Africa, in Egypt. Having said that, it's ideas, good ideas perhaps, fighting bad ideas all the time. And with that, they are implemented by partnerships, and behind them, we have energetic, very successful team who know how to deliver in the toughest of times. Having said that, thank you so much, and apologies that I took too long. Thank you.